Crane. Here. Lucas.
Here.
Miller. Here. Quinn.
Here.
Rothrock. Here. Councilmember Shepherd is absent tonight.
Tonight we have a short agenda with our items for consideration listed under new business. Since we have no other business, I'll move ahead to public comments. Is there anyone who would like to address council? Well, we will move to new business. There's no action items, no committee reports, no unfinished business tonight. We have 8A to 8D, and that's the election of chair and vice chair of Finance and Administration and Community Development Committees. Yes, Ms.
So I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I was a little surprised about having this open council meeting tonight, this being on the agenda. In my mind, when we talked about this in May and brought up changing the ordinances, I recognize now that in the ordinance we said June 1st would be the date by which we would have a council or the committee chair and co-chairs elected. I guess I didn't really realize with the timing with the holiday and with the pool opening and everything else that was going on that how it would fall, and I truly expected that we would have at least a work session or a committee meeting in between making this nomination, and we didn't have that opportunity. So I kind of assumed, right, wrong, or indifferent, that we would have a committee meeting tonight, then I guess maybe a council meeting, and then go into our work session. So I'd like to make a recommendation that we put this off until June, and that we even bring this up in Finance Administration Committee meeting and look at the timing to maybe going forward. This might just have been unique for this past year since we just changed the ordinance. That's always going to fall probably right around Memorial Day, but maybe our agenda going forward, we can make a point of in our May committee meetings, Finance Administration, that we talk about this type of stuff. So I'd like to see if the council in general is supportive of us moving this to the June council meeting.
Do I hear a second?
Well, that was the motion.
It wasn't. Did you not make a motion?
I probably didn't.
Oh.
Make a motion? Do I say I make a motion to move the election of the committee chairs and co-chairs to the June council meeting?
I second it.
Any discussion on this? Mr. Quinn?
The only discussion, and I would have been happy to second it, was that I was just going to say I had no problem with that if we want to table this until June, but since we already got a motion, we don't have to table anything.
If there are provisions that we made in the ordinance needs to be changed would be appropriate.
So that's a question. Do we have to change the ordinance? We don't have to change the ordinance now, but if we want to change it for going forward, then we have to talk about that. But we don't have to change it for this particular.
Any other discussion? Please call.
Rothrock. Aye. Quinn.
Aye.
Crane.
Aye.
Cowdery.
Aye.
Lucas.
Aye.
Gibbs.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Carries.
Passes. Well, the only thing left is the mayor's report, and there is not one. City administrator's report.
No report.
Any more business? Pat, would you?
Can I say something? Mayor? I would like to say that it was an unqualified success on the pool. It was really
That was
weird.
nice.
It was really cool. And awesome jobbers. Thank
Does
you.
Christy want to give us an update?
She hasn't been updated for today.
Oh,
Give us a recap on that.
Well, of course, opening weekend was a tinge slow. Thursday night with board and commission and council members and their families. I thought that was a nice night. Even Friday night was probably twice as many people with mission residents. That was the best night of the weekend. And then, of course, Saturday we did squeak it in there as planned, which I thought was very nice. But again, it gives everyone, it gives our guards, our concession staff, our front desk staff, an opportunity to really practice once before we get really busy. And even Monday and Tuesday were somewhat slow. Today's been crazy. Today, and I don't know if it's a coordination of all of the schools finally being out, but we have been pretty packed all day long. We've had as many people there today, and I'll be anxious to look at the actual reports from the computer. We've had as many people there today as we would have had on one of our busiest days with all of our camp kids there. So it's been great, and you know, I think the largest number of Super Pool Pass visits for today was probably from Fairway. So that's kind of off the record for right now, but while I've been out there standing there and watching Fairway coming in, and everybody is just oohing and awing. They love it. They love the spray pad area for their toddlers, so they don't have to worry about them going under in the water, and the play feature. And surprisingly enough, what I have found just in the last few days, the most popular area is that deep water play area in the competition pool where the basketball goal is. That seems to be arm to arm people. So that really surprised me. But I'll keep my eye on that and let you know how it goes. But so far so good on everything. We're still working through the punch list on several of the items. We need some flow meters still to be installed and some cleaning up of some of the concrete on some of the decks. As you can see, the hydro seeding went down today, but it's all coming together, and the guards love it, and they're really excited about being there. And I think that always helps because it gives them an added level of defense, if you will, because they're more on their toes. And we had training for the Mission Summer Program, teen and tween camps today. We had 40 camp counselors for that. We had Danny Smith and Kevin Self over to do some kind of safety training. But then we brought all of the kids over, the counselors, I call them kids, to do training around the pool area on what the rotation will look like. And then they went back to the community center. And I always have this video that I show them about a camp, and it's kind of a sad story about a camp where a young person actually drowns and dies, and they're in the water for 8 minutes before anyone recognizes that. And so after they were out walking around I can't wait to go down the slide, and isn't this going to be cool, and isn't that going to be cool? And then you take them back and you sit them in the classroom and you say, okay, now watch this video, and you say, I hope that's the longest 8 minutes of your summer. Because, you know, we make promises to parents every morning when they drop their kids off, they're going to pick their kids up in the afternoon. So even though we have this new fun place to go to, your job hasn't changed to still take care of the kids. It's not to play. It isn't about you. It is about the kids. So anyway,
Question.
it's wonderful.
You know where the baby pool used to be, and what do you call that area now?
Spray ground? Uh-huh.
And that is going to be open maybe at different times? Is that what I
Well, actually, at the end of the season, when the rest of the pool closes because the kids go back to school, we can't guard it anymore that Labor Day weekend, which is when most all pools close. We will be able to open that spray ground area and open it to the park, and it will just be another park amenity. It is not required to be lifeguarded. So, of course, during the summer when we're open, we're going to have guard in there more as a traffic cop than anything. More as a police officer or traffic cop, because I anticipate it will get pretty busy. But we will be able to keep that open as an added amenity to the park.
So how is like the functioning, but like does everybody really appreciate everything works smoothly and it's brand new?
Oh, I tell you. I've been really teasing with some of the captains, the head guard people that we have that used to stand in the old pump room and move that valve back and forth. And I said, okay, now you see this little sight flash, you need to stand here and make sure the water level goes at least to the top, but not at the bottom. Like, yeah. You don't need to worry about that. So it's been phenomenal.
When's our first swim meet?
Not this next, well, it's 2 weeks from tomorrow. I was going to say not next Thursday, but Thursday after.
You had more
2 weeks.
compliments on that parking, the closest parking.
Yes.
I mean, people, it was like an amazing thing that you put parking up there. I
Well,
heard more people compliment that. I think that,
I think several people still pull up on the street and they park, and then they get out and they go, oh, I could park down there. So that's neat. But anyway, it's been wonderful.
You're going to talk about next year maybe putting in a slide bigger than Schlitter Bonds.
Well, there's talk, but I really haven't got that. All kinds of talk. But it's been wonderful. I'm really looking forward to the summer. It's going to be a great time. Thank you.
Yes, Susan, yes.
I was not here last week, and I know, I think maybe Laura Smith did. that.
I did a poor job and said
She
you,
tried to channel you.
but I didn't do it.
You did great.
Well, I just really appreciate all the efforts that everybody put into the lights on, and it's great to know you've got a team that's behind you that just takes over, picks up, and does whatever needs to be done. I understand the weather was a little iffy, and I know with Johnson Drive that maybe the crowds were down a little bit, but I got lots of emails and lots of phone calls, and people had a great time, and so we still made money, and we did well, so thanks to everybody, to your crews, Public Works, Park and Rec staff. I mean, you guys were just phenomenal. I really appreciate you just picking up and doing it. It's great to know. Thank you.
And the Lamar intersection
Thank
is
you.
open.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Lamar, Woodson, and Outlook are open.
I didn't know if Woodson was open yet.
Yes.
Well, one more bit of business is Pat Quinn's ride on the Wounded Warrior. Do you want to say a few words about that? I mean, it's such a noble cause.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not really a city business, but
Well, I know, but it's country business.
that I'm involved in. I started a ride a few years ago to raise money for the Wounded Warrior Project, a motorcycle ride. And this year was our 5th year. Amy Miller helped us out. She's on the committee. Susie's going to make a huge donation later this week. But yeah, it was great. We had like 250 bikes showed up, a bus full of people that don't ride motorcycles, and probably 50 volunteers that helped us out with that. We fed them all in the morning, fed them on a break at Leavenworth National Cemetery where we had the program, and then we fed them again when we got back to the Harley dealership. So I think they could show up for the food, I'm not sure. In the process, we raised over $25,000.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes. Thank you. Well, if there's no other business,
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
all in favor?
I,
All opposed?
what did you say?